America Undercover goes beyond politics for a thought-provoking look at one of today's most controversial issues, abortion. Desperate Choices, next on HBO. Tough undercover cop Steven Seagal is taking on powerful drug lords on the mean streets of Chicago in Above the Law, next on HBO.
Next on HBO. We meet two brothers riding the rails of life, but in opposing directions. One a straight-A student, the other a bad penny. Across the Tracks, next on HBO.
Next on HBO. They're creepy and they're kooky. They're America's first family of fun and fright. Who else? The Addams Family. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. He's crude, he's immature, and he's sure to tick you off. But that's okay. He's Andrew Dice Clay in the adventures of Fort Fairlane. Stay where it happens. HBO. Crisscross the globe with the courageous Tintin and his dog Snowy in another hair-raising episode of The Adventures of Tintin, next on HBO. The military called it pilot error. The pilot's wife called it a cover-up. Laura Dern stars in the HBO original movie Afterburn, next. Lands on a prison planet, criminals are the least of her problems. It's the premiere of Alien 3, next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a tranquil college campus is the scene for a homicide? Just you wait. Christopher Walken stars in All-American Murder. Next on HBO.
Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise bring to life a delightful tale of a crooked canine in the animated feature All Dogs Go to Heaven, next.
Next on HBO. A group of travelers pick up a blind hitchhiker and find that she can clearly see through their darkest deceptions. Stay tuned for the eerie Alligator Eyes. Next on HBO.
Next on the Sunday night movie, Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte are at it again. They have to stick together for another 48 hours. Next.
Next on HBO. When Daryl Hannah has a close encounter with an alien spaceship, things start to look up, way up. Attack of the 50-foot woman. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Can the dead speak? Only to those that know how to listen. Catch the premiere of Autopsy, Confessions of a Medical Examiner, America Undercover. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. The dead speak only to those that know how to listen. Go behind the scenes with America Undercover in Autopsy, Confessions of a Medical Examiner. Next on HBO.
From the director of Rain Man comes a touching portrait of the struggles facing an immigrant family trying to make it in America. Avalon, next on HBO.
The touching story of one man's miracle and another man's second chance at life. Robin Williams and Robert De Niro star in Awakenings, next. It's entertainment for the whole family with a legendary King of the Elephants in the fun-filled animated series Babar, next on HBO. Next, HBO for kids. Based on the popular series of books, it's The Babysitter's Club, Marianne and the Brunettes. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. The fists fly when a Vietnam vet takes 5 punks and turns them into a drug-fighting force to be reckoned with. Band of the Hand. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a man who walks with the animals and talks with the animals happens upon a time portal? Just you wait. Beastmaster 2, Through the Portal of Time. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A band of New Yorkers take over a Coming up next, Eric Roberts fights against the odds in a serious karate showdown. James Earl Jones co-stars in Best of the Best. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. To this outlaw comic, nothing sacred. Take cover as he takes aim at everything from drugs to the church. Bill Hicks, Revelations. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A 17th century French Jesuit missionary braves the Canadian wilderness to convert the Huron Indian tribes in the historical drama Black Robe. Next on HBO. An LA cop combs the city's back streets on the trail of a murderous counterfeiting ring. Wings Hauser stars in Blood Money. Next. Next on HBO. Corey Haim is led into a web of sex and murder by a spoiled rich girl who wants her abusive father dead. Don't miss the suspense thriller Blown Away. Next on HBO. Get ready for action when Roy Scheider soars through.
3 teens stumble upon the plans of some crooks, and with the help of their friends, they ride their way to heroism in BMX Bandits. Next on HBO.
The intense suspense double feature continues with a married research scientist, a sex therapist, and a deadly case of body chemistry. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on the HBO Saturday Night Movie, Wall Street whiz Tom Hanks has it all until he takes a wrong exit off the turnpike. The Bonfire of the Vanities. Next. Next on HBO. LA doesn't have enough places to hide when bounty hunter Lorenzo Lamas comes looking for revenge. It's the HBO world premiere movie, Bounty Tracker. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A crack dealer faces moral dilemmas when he clashes with rival drug lords over a beautiful girl in the gritty and real The Bronx War. Next on HBO. Robin Lively takes up with a bumbling gang of thieves on a Wild West adventure to find her long-lost beau in Buckeye and Blue. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Gary Busey stars as the Texas rockabilly who was on his way to musical stardom when tragedy struck. Don't miss the Buddy Holly story. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. An eccentric clairvoyant gets into trouble when she starts dispensing advice on people's love lives. Demi Moore stars in The Butcher's Wife. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, and Dean Martin had an all-star road rally cross-country in the crash-em-up comedy, The Cannonball Run. Next on HBO.
A plot
plot is set to kill Winston Churchill, and it's up to agents Jason Connery and Glenn Ford to stop the attack aboard the Casablanca Express, next on HBO. Next on HBO, it's a case of mid-yuppie crisis with Jeff Daniels versus death in the quirky medical comedy Checking Out. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Jason Robards and Julie Harris get together to celebrate the holidays in the heartwarming HBO original movie, The Christmas Wife, next on HBO.
Coming up next, when robot teachers go on a rampage, the future doesn't look bright for the class of 1999. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Comic Capers continue on HBO. And it's the comedy event of the year as Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg, and Robin Williams host Comic Relief 5. Next on HBO. An investigation of a murder leads two LA cops into the middle of a deadly battle against Hong Kong's crime lords. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A seasoned cop and his preppy new partner go undercover in the sinister world of Hong Kong gold smuggling and murder. But will they come out alive? Crime lords. Next on HBO. Forrest Whitaker is accused of beating up a drug-addicted prostitute. But did he really do it? The HBO original movie, Criminal Justice, is next. Aussie Paul Hogan treks from down under to the Big Apple for some adventurous fun. Linda Kozlowski co-stars in the hit comedy Crocodile Dundee, next on HBO. The waters are turbulent, and so is this group's quick-tempered guide. Four college buddies experience vacation hell down Damned River, next on HBO. Next on HBO. To his loving foster parents, he seems like any 10-year-old boy, but he's a robot developed in a secret government defense project, codename Daryl. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A plague ravages America, and the government's response is to quarantine its victims. Cuba Gooding Jr. and Moira Kelly star in the HBO original movie Daybreak. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A stylish romantic mystery about murder and past lives. Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson play dual roles in Dead Again. Stay where it happens. HBO. Two escape cons are unstoppable together, but apart, they're dead. Rutger Hauer and Mimi Rogers star in the HBO original movie Deadlock, next. Next on HBO. When a group of people are trapped in a warehouse with toys from hell, cop Tracy Scoggins pits herself against the deadly playthings in Demonic Toys. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. He's rude, crude, and he'll probably tick you off. But hey, he's Andrew Dice Clay, and you know what they say. Dice rules. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Bruce Willis is a tough cop trapped inside an LA skyscraper where terrorists have taken his wife hostage in the high-octane suspense thriller Die Hard. Next on HBO. Bruce Willis is back as a one-man fighting force in the blockbuster hit Die Hard 2. Next on HBO. It could only happen here.
Next on HBO, Michael J. Fox heads up of the road trip to California in pursuit of a relaxed and high-paying career in the premiere of Doc Hollywood. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Next on HBO. Steve Guttenberg is the frog that Shelley Long is determined to turn into a prince. Jamie Gertz co-stars in Don't Tell Her It's Me. Next on HBO. He's a lawyer who gets his criminal clients acquitted and then turns them into bank robbers. Crime pays for Andrew Stevens in Down the Drain. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Welcome to the world of Martin Tupper. It's another episode of the sexy hit comedy series for grown-ups. Dream on. Stay where it happens. HBO. Martin Tupper's in for an all-new crisis of the 90s in the sexy hit comedy series for grown-ups. Dream on. It could only happen here. Next. Next on HBO. Join Martin Tupper, Judith, Toby, and the whole gang for the next installment of the sexy adults-only comedy series, Dream On. Next on HBO.
Coming up next, a nerdy freshman discovers a very unusual way to meet the girl of his fantasies in Dream Trap. Next on HBO.
Care for some open heart surgery? Try our new no anesthesia required method. That's right, the doctor's in, but he's definitely out of his mind. Dr. Giggles. Next on HBO. Next on HBO, when a man invents a car that can run on turnip juice, it's California or bust. Of course, that might be a problem when his invention is stolen. Billy D. Williams in Driving Me Crazy. Next on HBO. Next on HBO, when a man invents a car that can run on turnip juice, it's California or bust. Of course, that might be a problem when his invention is stolen. Billy D. Williams in Driving Me Crazy. Next on HBO.
Jessica Tandy displays her Oscar-winning performance in the 1989 Oscar winner for Best Picture. Morgan Freeman co-stars in Driving Miss Daisy. Next. HBO is helping kids become Earth-conscious consumers in Earth to Kids, a guide to products for a healthy planet. Next on HBO. Get ready for Eddie Murphy at his most dangerous. On stage, unstoppable, and totally uncensored. Eddie Murphy Raw. Next. Johnny Depp's a lonely android adopted by the local Avon lady. Winona Ryder co-stars in the gothic fairy tale Edward Scissorhands. Next. Barroom brawler Clint Eastwood and his rascally sidekick Clyde the orangutan go on a cross-country adventure in Every Which Way But Loose. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. John Travolta stars with his real-life wife in this quirky comedy about two hip New York entrepreneurs and a KGB agent. Just you wait. The Experts. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Saturday is opening night. Lou Diamond Phillips is a cop assigned to a top-secret vigilante squad. Don't miss the HBO world premiere movie, Extreme Justice. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Hearing can be just as dangerous as seeing, especially when the deed done was murder, and especially when the witness is blind. Eyewitness to Murder. Next on HBO.
Michelle Pfeiffer's a sultry nightclub singer hired to liven up a dying duo. Jeff and Beau Bridges are the fabulous Baker Boys. Next.
The recipe calls for laughs and some extra special sauce when these guys cook up some well-done mischief. Pull up a chair for some fast food. Next on HBO. Hijinks and sleazy double crosses may be the perfect therapy for this clan. A family that steals together, stays together. Fast Getaway. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a psychiatrist involved with his patient's sister becomes entangled in murder? Just you wait. Richard Gere and Kim Basinger star in Final Analysis. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Lorenzo Lamas must escape 6 vicious mercenaries in a deadly hunt in which he is the prey. Or at least that's what his enemies think. Final round. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Being a Los Angeles detective is dangerous enough, but when your ex-wife is assigned as your new partner, that can be the finishing touch. Next on HBO. Gear up for a huddle of some really offensive fun with those outrageous athletes, the Bulls, in First and 10. Do it again. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. An Irish fighter is framed for murder and caught between 2 warring mafia families. Can he stay alive long enough to regain his honor? Fist of Honor. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Stay tuned for the rags to riches story of a soul-singing rock and roll band. Robert Townsend wrote, directed, and stars in The 5 Heartbeats. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. For these 5 medical students, death is the ultimate trip. Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts star in Flatliners. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. For over 40 years and 3 wars, they've entertained troops all over the world. Bette Midler and James Caan can't give enough when it's for the boys. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Next on HBO. A new movie every Saturday night. A Maine U.S. Army protects in serve until propose. Mel Gibson stars in Forever Young. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. When Mel Gibson goes into a deep freeze, he awakens 53 years later to find a drastically changed world where he has remained forever young. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A student tries to change the fraternity system at his exclusive Eastern college. Gregory Harrison stars in Fraternity Row. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a dead body can be zapped into the future and sold to the highest bidder? Just you wait. Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, and Anthony Hopkins in Free Jack. Next on HBO. Friday the 13th night continues, and so does the terror. Campground at Crystal Lake is still plagued by a gruesome killer in Friday the 13th Part 2. Next. Next on HBO. It's guaranteed a new movie every Saturday night. These cops take a bite out of crime. The premiere of the HBO original movie, Full Eclipse. Next on HBO. Powerful Portrait of War, Full Metal Jacket. Next on HBO. city slicker Chevy Chase finds out the isn't always greener in the country in the hilarious comedy Funny Farm, next on HBO. Next on HBO. Winner of 6 Academy Awards, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro star in the sequel to the powerful saga of the Corleone family, The Godfather Part 2. Next on HBO. Blood, betrayal, and bitter hatred threaten to destroy the Corleone family. Al Pacino, Diane Keaton, and Andy Garcia star in The Godfather Part 3 next. On HBO. If you like Prince, you won't want to miss this rock superstar in a musical he wrote, directed, and starred in, Graffiti Bridge. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when 4 separate lives are brought together by near death? Kevin Kline, Danny Glover, and Steve Martin star in Grand Canyon. Next on HBO. Mel Gibson's The Swashbuckler. Next on HBO. Warning, it's the most dangerous comedy on TV. Has comedy gone too far? Just you wait. It's HBO's new adult-only comedy series, Hardcore TV. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when you're a teenager and your deceased mother comes back from the dead to possess your body? Just you wait. The Haunting of Morella. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Warning, the most dangerous comedy on TV is coming up. Think TV comedy has gone as far as it can go? Think again. We're about to go hardcore TV. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Lou Diamond Phillips is a troubled youth whose life takes an upward turn when he's taken in by a warm-hearted rancher. Stay tuned for Harley. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. It's an all-star celebration with Alan King, Dennis Miller, Paul Rodriguez, and Rita Rudner, just to name a few. The HBO Comedy Hour on New York Night Live. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. We're talking serious comedy here from a very serious town. Just you wait. The HBO Comedy Hour. Dennis Miller, live from Washington, D.C. Next on HBO. He's live and uncensored, and there's no telling how far he'll go. The HBO Comedy Hour. George Carlin, live at the Paramount. Next on HBO. With the funny man from In Living Color, HBO Comedy Hour, Jamie Foxx, straight from the foxhole. Next on HBO. We're talking serious comedy here when HBO spotlights one of today's hottest comics, the HBO Comedy Hour. Kevin Pollak, Stop with the Kicking. Next. He's outspoken, opinionated, and he'll crack you up. The HBO Comedy Hour. Rick Dukeman, Hit and Run. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Roseanne Arnold tells all in a deliciously daring evening of domestic insights and celebrity slamming. HBO Comedy Hour. Roseanne Arnold. Next on HBO. A talent so rare, so original, it can only happen here. It's his first special ever on American TV. The HBO Comedy Hour. Rowan Atkinson. Next. Next on HBO. HBO takes you behind the scenes of the latest manifestation of the Caped Crusader. HBO First Look. Batman, the animated movie. Next on HBO. Batter up and go behind the scenes of the new summer comedy starring Tom Hanks and Madonna. HBO First Look, A League of Their Own. Next. Next on HBO. Get a sneak peek at Jean-Claude Van Damme. His new movie, that is. A look behind the scenes with HBO First Look. Nowhere to run. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Go behind the scenes of this moving new drama directed by Robert Redford. HBO First Look. A river runs through it. Stay where it happens. HBO. A teenager's dreams come true when he wins a date with the homecoming queen. So what could go wrong? The HBO Family Playhouse. The perfect date. Next. Next on HBO. It's guaranteed a new movie every Saturday night. Sometimes it helps to be in the right place at the right time. The premiere of Hero. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A muscle-bound mercenary and a squad of beautiful and deadly women must infiltrate Eastern Europe. Stay out of their way. They're hired to kill. Next on HBO. Don't underestimate the power of an 8-year-old. Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci star in the hilarious box office hit Home Alone. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. A new movie every Saturday night. Kevin returns as a householding genius as the New York lost control. Macaulay Culkin is Home Alone 2. Lost in New York. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Thought it was impossible the first time? Well, the world's most brain-dead parents have done it again. And Macaulay Culkin's Home Alone 2. Lost in New York. Next on HBO.
Daring flyboys take to the skies in this hilarious off-the-wall Top Gun parody. Charlie Sheen and Valeria Golino star in Hot Shots. Next. When psychiatrist Lindsay Krause tries to study conman Joe Mantegna, she gets in way over her head. House of Games. Next on HBO. Next, an informative program that could save your life. Walter Cronkite gives you the facts in how to prevent a heart attack. Next on HBO. Cold War conflict turns to white-hot adventure when Sean Connery's at the helm of a Soviet super sub in the hunt for Red October. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. HBO Sports brings you a look at boxing greats from John L. to Muhammad Ali. In this corner, boxing's legendary heavyweights. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when an LA policewoman takes on a drug-dealing psycho? Just you wait. Tracy Lord stars in the fast-paced action-adventure Intent to Kill. Next on HBO. Richard Gere and Andy Garcia are cops trapped in a web of police corruption and murder in the thriller Internal Affairs. Next on HBO. HBO's Double Feature Friday continues with more intense suspense. Richard Gere's caught in a deadly web of corruption in Internal Affairs. Next. Next on HBO. It's Saturday night opening night. Kevin Costner stars in the Oliver Stone blockbuster of assassination, the premiere of JFK. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. A teenage boy learns the ancient powers of karate from a friendly old man. See Ralph Macchio beat up the bullies in The Karate Kid. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Ralph Macchio's plans for a peaceful life are disrupted as he's forced to defend his title. Pat Morita co-stars in We're talking seriously dangerous comedy here with that wacky pack of young comedians in an all-new outrageous episode of The Kids in the Hall. Next on HBO. A cop's murder leads to an investigation and exposure of police corruption. Fred Williamson is on the case in The Kill Reflex. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. This will fly and bones will break in Bangkok when a man seeks revenge for his brother's murder. The king of the kickboxers. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Michael Biehn and Matt Craven are mountain climbers who find their skills and courage tested to the limit in an assault on the world's second highest mountain, K2. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Get ready for Thursday Night Prime. Sybil Danning goes after drug smuggling psychos in the premiere of LA Bounty. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. He picks up where other talk show hosts leave off. It's the HBO half-hour comedy series, The Larry Sanders Show, starring Gary Shandling. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. It's the HBO original comedy that'll change the way you look at late-night television. Gary Shandling stars in The Larry Sanders Show. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. In the Old West, many a man carried a gun, but none enjoyed using it as much as Mickey Rourke. The HBO original movie, The Last Outlaw. Next on HBO.
HBO. An extraordinary drama filled with humor, passion, anger, and heartbreak. HBO presents an American family drama for the 90s. Laurel Avenue, Part 1. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Woe to the tourist who steals his pot of gold. He's little, he's dressed in green, and you better believe none of his charms are lucky. Leprechaun. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are mismatched partners fighting high-voltage crime in the explosive original Lethal Weapon. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Next on HBO, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Joe Pesci returned in this third installment as the two ruthless cops. A new movie every Saturday night, Lethal Weapon 3. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. A college co-ed finds the courage to tell her story of date rape. In Life Stories, No Visible Bruises. The Katie Costner story. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a waiter and a waitress decide to rob the hip restaurant where they work? David Bowie and Rosanna Arquette star in The Linguini Incident. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A terrorist organization develops a deadly new weapon, and it's up to demolitions expert Pierce Brosnan to stop them in live. Next on HBO. Conman Eric Roberts makes the mistake of his life when he swindles a lonely Beverly D'Angelo in the suspense thriller Lonely Hearts. Next on HBO. It's a futuristic combat zone. 2 men go in, 1 comes out. Mel Gibson and Tina Turner star in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Next. Next on HBO. If you're curious about Madonna, here's the intimate look you've been waiting for. The HBO premiere of Madonna, Truth or Dare. Stay where it happens. HBO. It's comic chaos when Martin Sheen poses as a domestic servant to get closer to the beautiful Jacqueline Bisset in The Maid. Next on HBO. Next on HBO, batter up and go behind the scenes of the hit summer comedy starring Madonna, Tom Hanks, and Gina Davis. The Making of a League of Their Own. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Take an exciting behind-the-scenes look at Francis Ford Coppola's wild dream of a movie. The Making of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Next on HBO. Join Bill Murray and Andy McDowell for a behind-the-scenes look at a movie that has an incredible sense of deja vu about it. The Making of Groundhog Day. Next on HBO. Bill Cosby's on a search for his stolen horse, crossing paths with some of the toughest outlaws in the West in Man and Boy. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Brain surgeon Steve Martin fell in love with one of his specimens. Now, if she only had a body, the man with 2 brains. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next, never-before-heard tapes highlight this revealing documentary of one of the sexiest movie stars of all time, Marilyn. Last Interview. Next. Next on HBO. Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, and Corbin Burnson are misfit members of a makeshift baseball team. They're determined to strike it big in Major League. Next on HBO. Steven Seagal gives up his undercover work for some hometown bliss, only to find some voodoo drug dealers have him marked for death. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. When a trio of tough Los Angeles cops team up to bring down the most vicious drug czar, they'll have no choice but to use maximum force. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Garbage men Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez smell more than a rat when they discover a corpse in the trash. Men at Work. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Jessica Lange is a single mom who must struggle to keep her family together after the sudden death of her husband in Men Don't Leave, next on HBO.
Next, a vacationing family becomes the target of a psycho hitchhiker. Maxwell Caulfield's playing some dangerous mind games. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A teenage Irishman is bewitched with a mysterious American woman. Wait till he finds out who she really is. Beverly D'Angelo is the miracle. Stay where it happens. HBO. Will a young couple's romance end in a bang or a wimp? Next on HBO. A young Indian woman moves to Mississippi and meets a black man whose southern roots go deep. It's a mismatched love affair in Mississippi Masala. Next on HBO.
Newman and Oscar nominee Joanne Woodward are an upper-crust couple facing the crossroads of life in Mr. and Mrs. Bridge, next on HBO.
Next on HBO, that lovable bumbler is back. Stay tuned for an all-new episode of the comic misadventures of the one, the only, Mr. Bean. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Chevy Chase is in for big trouble and big laughs when he drives through a shower of radioactive waste. It's an exercise in modern problems. Next on HBO. The Sirens blare with an all-star cast. Bill Cosby and Raquel Welch star in the zany comedy Mother Jugs and Speed. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. America Undercover goes into the minds of tortured souls and their alter personalities in Multiple Personalities, the search for deadly memories. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A serial killer is on the loose. Can a tough San Francisco cop follow the bloody trail and bring him in? Or will he become another victim in Murder Blues? Next on HBO. Next on HBO. An 11-year-old learns important lessons about life in this touching coming-of-age comedy drama. Macaulay Culkin stars in My Girl. Stay where it happens. HBO.
Next on HBO. Take an exciting behind-the-scenes look as Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Anna Shlumsky take us through the filming of My Girl 2, the sequel, an HBO first look. Next on HBO.
Leslie Nielsen's back as Lieutenant Frank Drebin for some zany hijinks. Priscilla Presley co-stars in The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Next. Next on HBO. What happens to writer/exterminator Bill Lee when his subjects become larger than life? Just you wait. Peter Weller stars in The Naked Lunch. Next on HBO. Will it cost him his own life? The shock thriller Netherworld. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Television takes its lumps in Sidney Lumet's biting look at the network ratings war. William Holden and Faye Dunaway star in the Academy Award-winning Network. Next on HBO. On HBO. Sean Connery is 007, and he's going to take on a sinister terrorist ring. Kim Basinger co-stars in Never Say Never Again. Next on HBO. Enter the pages of a magical book and into an enchanted fantasy world with a 10-year-old boy in The Never-Ending Story. Next on HBO. The action-packed double feature continues as Mario Van Peebles takes on drug czar Wesley Snipes to clean up the streets of Harlem. New Jack City, next on HBO. Next on HBO. Wesley Snipes is a homicidal drug czar. Ice-T and Judd Nelson might be able to stop him if they can stay alive in New Jack City. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when the streets of New York become a breeding ground for drug lords until Detective Stone enters the scene? Just you wait. New Jack City. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. The action continues on Action Pack as Patrick Swayze exacts deadly hillbilly justice when his brother is killed by gangsters. Better notify next of kin. Next on HBO.
Next, the great American pastime becomes the playing field for a psycho slasher. Roy Scheider stars in Night Game, next on HBO. Next on HBO. There's spine-tingling terror when a group of zombies terrorize the countryside. Who will see the dawn after the Night of the Living Dead? Stay where it happens. HBO. Coming up next, Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton are an odd couple working in a morgue. They're up to mischief during the night shift. Next on HBO.
An American teen has the adventure of a lifetime when she befriends a mysterious young runaway on the night train to Kathmandu. Next on HBO.
A woman is sheltered from the political turmoil in Argentina until she suspects all is not what it seems. Norma Alejandro stars in The Official Story. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. An American story of street kids who become ruthless mobsters. Robert De Niro, James Woods, and Elizabeth McGovern star in Once Upon a Time in America. Next on HBO. HBO rings in the new year with an all-night lineup of today's funniest comics. The HBO One Night Stand presents Alan Havey. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Steven Seagal is a cop with his own set of rules, and he's seeking revenge on the killer who murdered his partner. He's out for justice. Next on HBO. Anthony Michael Hall is just a teen from Iowa visiting LA until he picks up the wrong bag at the airport. Out of Bounds. Next on HBO. New York was paralyzed by the Son of Sam murders until one man made a difference. Martin Sheen stars in the true story Out of the Darkness. Next. Next on HBO. Michael O'Keefe returns home to investigate his brother's suicide and uncovers a web of drugs, murder, and incest. Stay tuned for the drama Out of the Rain. Next on HBO. Twisted tenant Michael Keaton turns a house into a living hell for homeowners Melanie Griffith and Matthew Modine in Pacific Heights. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Foreign pen pals tell their American friends about their daily lives through touching and informative letters. Find out about exotic lands in Pen Pals. Next on HBO. A family moves to a new home in the country, only to discover their worst nightmares have just begun. In Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Next on HBO. A whole heap of trouble in a sleepy Maine town as he and his friends go digging where they shouldn't. Pet Sematary 2. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Charlton Heston crashes on a planet 2,000 years into the future, only to find that he's landed on the planet of the apes. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Charlie Sheen, Willem Dafoe, and Tom Berenger star in Oliver Stone's Oscar-winning story of survival and morality in war-torn Vietnam, Platoon. Next on HBO. Look back at the last 50 years of sports television as HBO presents a one-of-a-kind television event, Play-by-Play, a history of sports television. Next. Clint Eastwood's a late-night DJ whose one-night stand with an obsessed fan becomes a fatal attraction. Play Misty for Me. Next on HBO. An FBI agent goes undercover to catch a gang of bank-robbing surfers. Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves star in the action thriller Point Break. Next. on HBO. Find out what happens when everyone's favorite Crime Stoppers head south to Florida. Just you wait. Police Academy 5, assignment Miami Beach. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. We couldn't make this one up. Holly Hunter stars in the HBO original movie, The Positively True Adventures of the Alleged Texas Cheerleader Murdering Mom. Next on HBO. Sean Connery and Mark Harmon are adversaries reunited to solve a murder mystery in the fast-paced crime drama, The Presidio. Next on HBO. On HBO. In his Academy Award-nominated performance, Nick Nolte is a man plagued by his past. Barbra Streisand stars and directs The Prince of Tides. Stay where it happens. HBO. They're women doing hard time. Time that won't stand still on the outside. The HBO original movie, Prison Stories. Women on the Inside. Next on HBO. 30 years ago, her abortion divided a nation. History is about to repeat itself. Sissy Spacek and Aidan Quinn star in the HBO original movie, A Private Matter. Next. Next on HBO. When a country music singer loses touch with the roots that made him a superstar, George Strait and Leslie Ann Warren leave the tour and go pure country. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. It's lust at first sight as Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick heat up the screen. Literally, they play a couple who set each other's hearts aflame in Pirates. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Nick Nolte gives a powerful performance in this gripping drama about big city cops and big-time corruption. Q&A. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A moving story of youth, disillusionment, and the meaning of life. Bill Murray stars with Teresa Russell in The Razor's Edge. Stay where it happens. HBO. HBO spans the nation and the world to take a provocative look at real people and real sex for adult audiences only. Next. Next on HBO. Starving for a little voyeuristic action? Well, get ready, America. It's a feast for the eyes and a treat for the imagination. Real Sex 8. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Nicolas Cage runs into some real trouble, but will his luck change for the better? Dennis Hopper co-stars in the HBO world premiere of Red Rock West. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Find out what happens when an aging prima donna finds the fountain of youth in the form of a serum from human brains. Just you wait. The Rejuvenator. Next on HBO. Events in the thriller, The Resurrected. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. When it comes to Klaus von Bülow, the question is, did he or didn't he? Well, just you wait. Oscar winner Jeremy Irons and Glenn Close star in Reversal of Fortune. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Assistant DA Denzel Washington is targeted by a revenge-seeking ex-con. John Lithgow and Ice-T co-star in Ricochet. Stay where it happens. HBO. Next on HBO. Don the Dragon Wilson is madder than hell, and he descends into the bowels of L.A. to save his girlfriend from a vicious gang. Ring of Fire 2, Blood and Steel. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO, battleships have been replaced with microchips, and the future of mankind is at stake as a renegade pilot and a hostile warlord battle in a science fiction wasteland. Robot Wars, next on HBO.
triumphant original that won 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. Sylvester Stallone stars as America's favorite underdog, Rocky, next. Rocky Balboa is back, fighting the odds to come out on top. Sylvester Stallone and Talia Shire star in Rocky V, next. Next, it's non-stop action, laughter, and love as Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner star in Romancing the Stone, next on HBO. Next on HBO. It's the dopest, fattest, freshest hip-hop comedy in town. Martin Lawrence hosts Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam. Stay where it happens, HBO. Get ready to laugh with today's hottest young black comics, Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam, next on HBO. Viewer discretion advised. Next on HBO. Is Angie going mad? Or is someone trying to make her think she is? Just you wait. Sharon Stone and Steve Railsback star in Scissors. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. John Larroquette's a small-time detective who hires a quack psychic to help run his agency. From then on, the ESP runs amok. Second Sight. Next on HBO. Michael McKean and Elliot Gould star in an all-new episode of the painfully funny new series from the mind of Billy Crystal. Sessions only on HBO next. The true story of a reporter who risked it all to get to the bottom of 2 scandalous murders, Amy Irving and Andy Garcia, in a show of force. Next. Next on the Saturday Night Movie, Amy Irving stars in the true story of a reporter who risked everything to uncover 2 scandalous murders. A show of force. Next. Roberts leaves home to begin a new life in a new town, but you can't escape the past when you've been sleeping with the enemy. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A handsome high school stud, a chaste teenage girl. He's got some ulterior motives, all right, and they'll make your hair curl. Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. Next on HBO. Next on the Sunday Night Movie, Maverick, Alabama cop Brian Bosworth infiltrates a gang of outlaw bikers in the premiere of Stone Cold. Next. Next on HBO. It's entertainment for the whole family with a delightful animated tale about a very special friendship. The story of the Dancing Frog. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. This guy was born to be a politician until he gets caught in a very politically incorrect compromising position. James Spader and Piper Laurie in Storyville. Next on HBO. When laid-back gym teacher Mark Harmon is forced to teach an unruly class of misfits, he's got... Next on HBO. A photographer returns to L.A. only to find his loved ones ensnared in a web of drugs and violence. Michael Pare stars in Sunset Heat. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when a scummy slumlord is forced to live in one of his own tenement houses? Joe Pesci gets his just desserts in The Super. Next on HBO. Batters up. Edward James Olmos is scouting for the wonder player who can save his job in the sports comedy Talent for the Game. Next on HBO. You'll be too creeped to sleep. The Crypt Keeper is cooking up another recipe for horror. It's an all-new Tales from the Crypt. Next on HBO. Murder, madness, and mayhem. And that's just the fun part. It's another gory episode of Tales from the Crypt. Next on HBO. Viewer discretion advised. Murder, madness, and mayhem. And that's just the fun part. The Crypt Keeper has an all-new episode of Tales from the Crypt. Next, viewer discretion advised. Murder, madness, and mayhem. And that's just the fun part. It's another gory episode of Tales from the Crypt. Next on HBO. Viewer discretion advised. Murder, madness, and mayhem. And that's just the fun part. It's another gory episode of Tales from the Crypt. Next on HBO. Viewer discretion advised. Get ready for Halloween with HBO's Mischief Night. 12 favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt back to back. Next on HBO. Viewer discretion advised. Next, Deborah Harry and Christian Slater star in a chilling collection of gruesome Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Next on HBO. There are a couple of busted cops breaking heads and breaking the law. Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell are busting out of prison in Tango and Cash. Next.
A plain Jane uses...
Next on HBO. When a biological war wipes out most of the Earth, mutant monsters and killer viruses threaten the rest of humanity. In The Terror Within 2. Next on HBO.
Next, get ready to boogie with Donna Summer as she dances her way through a wild night at the disco in Thank God It's Friday. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. When a woman's steamy diary is stolen by a burglar, she becomes the object of his fantasy. Stephen Bauer stars in the sultry drama, Thief of Hearts. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO, what happens on a cross-country trip when two limo drivers lose $5 million in cash? Cheech and Chong are about to find out. Things are tough all over. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. Fred Williamson and Bo Svensson have just 72 hours to save a diplomat from the clutches of a slightly displeased Colombian drug lord. 3 days to a kill. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. It's World War II. Neither side knows what the outcome will be. Whether conqueror or victim, each man is subject to the tides of war. Stay where it happens. HBO. There's plenty of military action when German naval officer David Soule turns against his own country in Tides of War. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO 3. A tough case is about to get tougher for a homicide detective, especially since he's having an affair with the chief suspect to kill for. Next on HBO 3.
A family's insulated world is threatened when an old face from the past returns. Danny Glover stars into Sleep with Anger. Next on HBO.
A family struggles against deep-rooted prejudices when they move into a farming community. A town's revenge. Next.
Next on HBO. HBO. Tracy Ullman unveils a hilarious cast of characters as she takes a couple of bites out of the Big Apple. Tracy Ullman takes on New York. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. How does a soap opera writer help a young couple find love? Just you wait. Barbara Hershey, Keanu Reeves, and Peter Falk star in Tune In Tomorrow. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO 3. Turn off the lights, sit back and relax, or at least try to. Chances are you'll be screaming soon enough. You're about to enter Twilight Zone, the movie. Next on HBO 3.
Next on HBO. What happens when HBO brings you two tales of terror that are guaranteed to make you very, very nervous? Just you wait. Two Evil Eyes. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. What happens when the salvation of the human race depends on, would you believe, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John? Just you wait. Don't miss Two of a Kind. Next on HBO. Can a high school senior find love with a convicted murderer? They can if the past can reveal itself in the unbelievable truth. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Steven Seagal is a Navy cook in hot water, but can he get out of the kitchen without burning his pies? Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey co-star in Under Siege. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage are father and son with an unusual identity crisis. It's hard to tell the men from the boys in Vice Versa. Stay where it happens. HBO. Julie Andrews is an overnight sensation when she entertains Paris with a dual performance. James Gardner co-stars in Victor Victoria. Next. For a group of POWs, escape is within reach during a soccer match, but only if they have the proper game plan. Michael Caine leads his team to victory. Next.
All's fair in love and marriage, or is it? Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito are declaring war. The War of the Roses. Next.
Stay where it happens. HBO. The streets of New York become a battleground for gangs. It's a fight for territory. It's a fight for revenge. The Warriors. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. Eric Stoltz and Wesley Snipes star in the endearing and funny look at the hope and desperation facing recovering accident victims in a rehab ward. The Water Dance. Next on HBO. Winona Ryder becomes obsessed with the return of a hometown girl turned sexy screen star. Welcome home, Roxy Carmichael. Next on HBO. Next on HBO 3. Two boneheaded escaped cons are Canada-bound when they're conveniently mistaken for clerics. Robert De Niro and Sean Penn star in We're No Angels. Next on HBO 3.
Take a look back at rare films of the real heroes of baseball, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mays, and Mantle, when HBO Sports presents When It Was a Game. Next.
Next on HBO. A Hollywood screenwriter moves into a mansion that was the scene of a notorious bloodbath. Sharon Stone stars in this thriller Where Sleeping Dogs Lie. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. A revealing look at the lives of runaway kids struggling to survive on the hard streets of downtown Los Angeles, where the day takes you. Next on HBO. Next on HBO. obsession, murder. Psychiatrist Annabella Sciorra fears for her life in the suspenseful thriller Whispers in the Dark. Next on HBO.
Madonna is causing her usual mayhem, and poor Griffin Dunn is being taken for a ride he's never going to forget. Who's That Girl? Next on HBO. Take a probing and powerful look at average kids that commit the savage act of murder in this edition of America Undercover. Why did Johnny kill? Next.
Barely escaping the wrath of her evil mother, Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern are lovers hitting the highway in David Lynch's twisted fairy tale, Wild at Heart. Next on HBO. A nerdy fraternity brother proves he's got what it takes to make the grade when he helps the star quarterback get the girl in Wimps. Next on HBO.
Next on HBO. He walked into the path of an assassin's boy. How did this change his life and the way America thinks about guns? Just you wait. Without Warning, the James Brady story. Next on HBO. Harrison Ford finds danger and romance when he goes undercover to protect a young Amish boy. Kelly McGillis co-stars in Witness. Next.
When supernatural wolves on the prowl commit gruesome murders, it's up to Albert Finney and Gregory Hines to track down the Wolfen. Next on HBO.
Ray Liotta, Andie MacDowell, and Matt Dillon star in a trilogy of love stories from HBO Pictures, Women and Men Too. Next.
From HBO Original Movies, Ray Liotta, Andie MacDowell, Matt Dillon, and an all-star cast, Women and Men Too. Next on HBO.